April 21st, 2022 Rotoball Patch compound, standing up here at the stop sign patch, which is a 20 by 20 area that is newly tilled. A small portion from about here to there, actually there to there, you can kind of see the line, was originally a bean patch that we grew Vortex beans and actually grew about a 80-some pound watermelon there last year. Obviously we extended it, broke new ground, tore up the sod, and heavily amended it. Did not do a soil sample on this patch. I just added some amendments from gut instinct of what my soil in my original patch was and where it is now. It got 6 yards of manure compost, 200 pounds of gypsum, 200 pounds alfalfa meal, and probably about 15 to 20 pounds of 10-10-10. Some borax, a little bit of manganese from Epsom salt. And that's pretty much it for it. That will hold the clone plant. And the clone doesn't go out in the patch till sometime probably mid-May. The main patch, obviously the huts are up. This patch is fully tilled and amended. I also broad forked this patch. I feel like I have good soil, 12 to 14 inches deep. Top end, beautiful fill, nice material, properly aerated. Patch is done, just short of taking care of weeds from here on out. I know a lot of people like to keep a cover on it, and I'd love to keep a cover on it and, you know, pretty much till ahead of my cover, but that's not in the cards for me this year. Maybe someday I'll try it. I do have both my huts up. Like I said, I'm doing 2 plants. Today is a very, very special day. It is planting day. Hut number 1, as you will see, has the 1965.5 rotoballs in it, whereas hut number 2 has the 1992.5 Pierponts in them. Today is the day that the plants go into the huts. Huts have been up for about 10 days, I'd say, and I've been monitoring temperatures inside and outside. I like the soil temperatures. That's what that little point and shoot thermometer is all about. I've had a 5-gallon jug of water in here heating up over the whole time as well. It's nice and warm. The soil has a good moisture content to it right now. You'd think it's good and dry just looking at the top of it, but you get down a little bit, we have a little bit of moisture. It's not sopping wet, obviously. You probably couldn't ball it up unless you get down about 3 or 4 inches. But this is hut number 1. This is where 2 of the 1965.5s will be going. Of course, they're going to run downhill, so they're pointed in the general direction of the way I want them to go. This is our first true leaf, and traditionally your main vine will go opposite of your first true leaf. I have containers in the ground. I'll pull these out. There are let's see, 6 total. So there's 3 of the Wallace Wow starter packs in the vicinity. They're not right up against it. They're probably about here, here, and here, and here, here, and here. Both huts are set up that way. I feel like those little Wallace packs are pretty awesome. You know, shout out to Ron Wallace. If you guys aren't using those, you probably should think about it, especially for tomatoes. The difference is just remarkable. But the plants go in today. And I will water them in immediately, and it'll be a pretty heavy drench watering. There'll be mycorrhiza put in. As soon as these tubs come out, mycorrhiza goes in the bottom of the hole, plant goes in there, covered with soil, and then I will take the gallon of water and I'll put some Dominion, which is just a generic metacloprid, and do a nice drench, and that keeps the corn maggots to a minimum. I lost a nice 2145 plant in 2019 to corn maggots, and I will lose no more to corn maggots. One nice thing about putting your huts up early like this is it causes corn maggots to hatch, go through their life cycle. So he's no longer a maggot, he's now a fly waiting to fly over to Scott Baywatch's patch and turn into a maggot. Heat's still going. Of course, I have a timer set up. That's my timer right there. Kicks on at 7:45 in the PM, kicks off at 7:45 in the AM. The ceramic heater is set at 60 degrees. It is not hooked up to the timer. It kicks on and off independently, which is nice. I will not leave that ceramic heater sitting high and tall on that table to fall upon my plants. It will be moved over to that corner. I had it in this general area just because why not? But going forward, it will live over there. So the big question is, what do my roots look like in these little tiny half-gallon pots? Because they are small. You know, these cots aren't the big old cots that was on the Pierpont, but they're still decent sized cots. And the gallon, like I said, a half-a-gallon container, they're not huge. How bad are my roots? I plan to have a vine pattern where both plants run clear down towards the patch. And as always, I'll kind of have a space between here with walking boards, so the plants will be allotted close to about 1,000 square foot this year, as opposed to 600 square foot for my largest plant last year, which is kind of small. Excited to have larger plants. I think we're going to hopefully let that translate to larger produce. We'll see. If I can just get one of these to the finish line, I'll be a happy camper. I am so excited about that 1992.5. Look up the genetics on that, on Pumpkin Fanatic. I think you'll see why I'm excited. It's obviously the mother's my seed off the 1347.5, but the father pollinator of that grew a 21.5 from Mr. Ed Pierpont. So it's got a hell of a pollinator in it too. So pretty excited to say the least. Low seed count, tickled and very thankful that Ed gave me a couple. Good man, I really appreciate it. I want to do him proud. 1992.5 Pierponts, hut number 2. Same spot I grew the 1965.5. The imidacloprid, which is Dominion, which is an off-brand of it, has been liberally spread across the area and around the plants. One thing that I do and other folks may not is I'll water the imidacloprid right onto the stems, and I'm not afraid to get it on the plants a little bit of water and whatnot, imidacloprid on the plants, but right at the stems. And the main reason corn maggots come, they're not out here tearing up your plants. They crawl up to here and they tear up your plants. So obviously the perimeter is a great idea. You're going to kind of put up a guard, but I mean, having it clear up to the stem is a smart move. That's pretty much it for my patch, guys. Not a lot of excitement. I'll talk hopefully more in the coming week or two, and we start getting some plant size. Thanks for watching, following along. As always, questions, comments, hit me up. Doc out.